Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. In today's recipe, I'm going to show you how to make Gulab Jamuns. Jamuns are made two different ways, one with khoya and the other with milk powder. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Gulab Jamuns with the milk powder method because it's absolutely flavorful, simple and easy to make, and one of my favorites because it's easy as well. And I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step method of how to make those perfect rounds so they don't crack, and how to ensure that you fry them evenly so that they get golden brown beautifully, and how to flavor the Gulab Gel with the rose water to give it that perfect flavor for the Gulab Jamuns. So without wasting any time, let's just dive right in and I'll start cooking. So to get started, I have a large mixing bowl with me. I'm going to go ahead and add in the milk powder, the maida, cardamom, and some soda, and the saffron, which is the kesar. Great, so I'm going to first mix all of this up together first. We'll add in the ghee, mix it up. We'll add in the cream now. So now all you have to do is to ensure that you knead the dough well and get all the milk powder and the flour together, and ensure that it forms a nice smooth dough. This is perfect. To shape our Gulab Jamun, just grease your fingers with a little bit of oil. It just becomes easier to roll them into tiny balls. And remember, when the Jamuns go into the Gulab Gel, they will fluff up. And so it's important that you roll them small, a little bigger than a gooseberry, Indian gooseberry, and a little smaller than an Indian lemon. Great, so I'm just going to ensure that the balls are nice and smooth, right? And hence greasing with a little bit of oil helps to give that nice smooth texture. So I'm just going to go ahead and shape each one of these and then begin to fry our Gulab Jamuns. So I have my oil preheated and my Gulab Jamun balls ready as well. A good way to test whether the oil is of the right temperature or not is to add a small piece inside, and then if it starts sizzling, then you know it's done, and it needs to rise slowly, and that's when you know it's done. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this and then place my Gulab Jamun balls into this and then deep fry them on medium heat until it's golden brown on all the sides. Okay. Ensure that you keep turning the Gulab Jamuns around so that they don't stick to the bottom, and they need to get done golden brown on all the sides. It needs to rise to the top, and they have a tendency to stick to the bottom because of the milk powder, and some of them, as you notice over here, can get burnt, and that was just to show you. So it's important that you sort of keep turning it around to ensure that they get brown evenly, and you will notice that it'll rise to the top and it'll no longer stick, and that's how it needs to be. So this is great. So I'm just going to wait for the jamuns to get fried evenly. So notice that the Gulab Jamuns are getting evenly fried, except for the ones which got stuck at the bottom, and that's normal. Sometimes it happens, and my next batch is going to be perfect. But this is exactly how you want to be, and the heat needs to be on medium because the jamuns need to get fried from inside as well, otherwise it will remain raw and kacha, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and drain out these into paper towels and then fry the remaining batch. So I just broke one of the fried jamuns, and this is how it looks. It needs to be cooked perfectly. Notice how fluffy it is inside, and this is just perfect. So now, once this batch is ready, I'm going to put them in the syrup. So now for the Gulab Gel, which is the rose water, I'm going to add in water into my large pan, where I'm going to put the Gulab Jamuns and allow it to soak. Sugar. I'm going to add the rose water and also a generous pinch of saffron, and I'm going to go ahead and dissolve the sugar in the water, and once it dissolves and we'll be ready and it's warmed up, we'll be ready to add our fried jamuns into it. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and dissolve the sugar. I can smell the flavors of the Gulab Gel, the rose water that we added, and notice that it's getting a nice color as well because of the saffron. Just wait for the sugar to dissolve. The sugar is now completely dissolved, so I'm going to allow the water to come to a brisk boil now, probably about a minute. So notice that the sugar water is coming to a boil. This is just perfect. So now I'm going to turn off the heat and place my Gulab Jamuns in the syrup, and then allow it to rest for at least 2 hours until it fluffs up. So we'll just wait for that time. So it's important that you don't overcrowd it. Maybe you can add it in batches if all the gulab jamuns that you've fried don't fit in a single pan. Or you can make it in 2 batches. So you can put one gulab jamun in one and another one in another pan if required, because so that it gets evenly distributed. Okay, so because they're going to fluff up as they soak. So I have a wide pan here, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in as many, and I'm going to cover the pan and allow it to soak itself for about 2 hours, and we'll open it after about 2 hours and just check once in between how they're doing and if they're faring well and they're getting fluffed up. Okay, so we'll just wait for 2 hours and then we'll be able to open our gulab jamuns and just take a bite. So it's been 2 hours that the gulab jamuns have been soaking in the gulab gel, and notice how beautifully they have expanded and then soaked in all the water, and this is just perfect. And I'm just going to cut it and show it to you how soft it is and has absorbed all the water. That's perfect. This is exactly how we want it to be, and it's nice and juicy from the inside as well, and it's absorbed all the gulab gel beautifully, and I can smell the flavors of saffron and the rose water. So I really hope you enjoyed watching the recipe of how to make the gulab jamuns, and I hope you find it easy like I find it easy too. Do give this recipe a try, and when you do, don't forget to share your feedback in the comments below, and also take a snapshot of it, tag me across all your social channels, and I would love to hear from you. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.